My name is Erica Pearson. I am the co-founder and CEO of Vacation Fund. So a little over a year ago, I left the capital market space because I wanted to help people live happier, more balanced lives. And my initial reaction had been, oh, I'll help people save for their bucket list trips. So Vacation Fund started out as I literally walked myself into Mike Catchin's office at Wealthsimple and I said, Mike, I'm creating Wealthsimple for people's travel goals. And I said, I really think there's something here for lead gen on travel, like there's something to it. And he said, oh, okay, keep going. And then it slowly, as we started to pitch this in front of tech CEOs in Toronto, it slowly evolved because employers said, you know what, no, I think this is a company benefit. I want to contribute to my employees' vacation fund. I want to actually show my employees that they should be using their vacation days, because the problem was either people are working around the clock, they're going to burn out, or I'm trying to attract new talent, what better benefit for millennials. So whatever the reason was, employers started to say, I don't think this is B2C, I think this is a B2B play. I think this is an employee benefit. So we finally listened. December 1st, we decided to say, okay, let's take a run at this, the best employee benefit ever, or employer matched vacation saving, and it started to take off. So a few companies came in, they said, hey, I want to offer this to my employees, and I said, okay, well, how much do you want to match? And they said, I'll match their contribution into their vacation fund at 50%. And I said, what do you want your annual cap to be? They said $500. Now, as we started to look into the employee benefits and rewards space, people started to tell us, this is a relatively inexpensive benefit, but there's also a lot of advantages to getting employees to use their vacation days. So now, as we've started to develop this out, after seeming to have some sort of product market fit, I can actually show you some of the screens and some of the product that we've developed today. So this is exciting for us. Abby, my co-founder, is responsible for all of our development. If anyone in the world needs a vacation right now, it is him. He refuses to take it until it's all done, but I'm working on that. So we started with, okay, so what information do we need from an employer? If an employer says, yes, I want to offer this to my employees, what information do we need to gather from them? So it started just with company information, the logistics that I was asking about. What percentage do you want to match? What do you want the contribution to cap to be at annually? And then using this as a retention strategy, how long do employees need to work for your company before they're actually entitled to withdraw their matched amount? And a lot of them, for the most part, are saying 6 months to a year. Maybe you're really enticing these employees to stay with you a little bit longer before they're entitled to this kind of a benefit. So then we started to think, okay, well, we're essentially right now set up as almost a fund administrator. So people have to set up these payroll deductions, choose their payroll deduction amount, and then we are holding the after-tax payroll deduction from the employees and showing the employer and showing the employee and the employer how much has been matched for each employee. So we've gone through this and said, okay, well, how do we coordinate with each of these payroll providers? We've worked through the logistics and the coordination. And then, okay, well, now we need to know what employees are actually entitled to this benefit. And so for the most part, for the larger companies, it's been an upload of a CSV file, for those of you that are familiar. Otherwise, for the 5 to 10 person companies, it's just been, oh, okay, first name, last name, email address, no problem. Relatively straightforward logistics. And then, obviously, being a new product, we'd like as much feedback as possible from these early pilot companies. So we've actually gone in and done lunch and learns, primarily because prior to establishing a lot of our strategic travel partners, I wanted to go around the table and say, okay, if you had $2,000 aside today to spend on travel, where would you go to spend it? And I will tell you, my first pilot project, 12 employees around the table, they came back to me with 35 different travel sites that they would like to spend their money with. So, work in progress on how to put the right kinds of offers in front of people. But booking a lunch and learn so far has not been difficult because most of our pilot projects are in Toronto or Kitchener-Waterloo. Now, as soon as we can alert an employee, hey, your employer has said you're entitled to vacation fund as a benefit, we send the employees an email, and then we get to say, okay, let's create an account, basic logistics, basic details for the employee themselves, including primary airport, for when we get to the opportunity to have the ability to send people offers that are aligned with where they would actually be flying out of. And now, The goal setting piece of the platform kind of brings us back to our initial B2C inspiration. This becomes very valuable on the travel side when we actually have information regarding where someone wants to go, what time of the year, and what their budget is for everything from flights to accommodations to excursions. Now we know as people start to set money aside for travel, sometimes they don't necessarily have that level of detail, but we said, what if we just allow them to establish a goal name? It can be summer 2018, summer 2019, whatever it may be, just get people to set a goal. Because if an employer is contributing towards someone's vacation fund, they need to know, okay, is this trip actually gonna happen this year? And for additional context around that, most employers are choosing an annual use it or lose it matched amount because they do want to incentivize their employees to take time off every year. So getting through some of the logistics, helping people estimate trip costs. We know for now, ideally longer term, we're actually pulling in, if you'd like to go to Costa Rica on the cheaper end, this is what this could look like, or on the more expensive end, this is what your payroll deductions between now and then might look like. Now, if someone just wants a general trip cost estimate, that's fine as well. We've worked through this optionality, and we want to make it very visual, very aspirational. And we've actually had some employers come to us already saying, well, longer term, can I have a map? Can this be an employee engagement tool? Can employees see what other trips or what parts of the world other employees at this company have traveled to? So we could walk across the room and say, hey, you went on this trip to Peru last year. Can you actually help me? Do you have any recommendations? So longer term, obviously, we could dive into feature creep all day, every day on the travel side. But for now, we're trying to keep it to minimum viable product, what needs to be here for this to add some value, its initial purpose to these companies. And ideally, longer term, we have people showing, these are the trips that your employer helped you accomplish. Because really, as we go to tell employers, hey, this is really worth you offering to your employees, the employee needs to feel a sense of loyalty to their company. And the way you can help increase employee loyalty is to say, this employer helped you get to these bucket list trips. So that's the kind of messaging and the kind of level of aspiration and loyalty we're working towards. And now for an employee, they obviously need to be able to choose a payroll deduction amount, see what their total contributions have been, and show the after-tax amount from their employer. So the matched amount so far from the employer has been $500 annually, but based on the employee's income bracket, it's basically treated like a mid-year cash bonus. So right now we looked at the idea of should this be a taxable benefit or should this be considered a separate vacation cash bonus? And the easiest way for everyone to actually wrap their heads around it was, yes, it's $500 match less the tax that you are charged based on your income bracket. Will it turn into an employee benefit longer term? Maybe. We've talked to a lot of people for those of you that are familiar with Achievers and their point system and what that looked like. We've found a lot of repercussions longer term to actually having people spend their points and then get taxed for it later. So for now, we are taking the cash bonus approach. I apologize. And then obviously showing people past and upcoming transactions. This comes back to an issue that we found when we were trying to do a B2C fintech play around how can you get people to trust you as a startup? How do you get people to trust you with their money, with their information? How can you show someone, hey, you've actually put this amount of money aside? Or hey, we know the exact date that this money came to us. Trust is obviously a very big factor, especially in the fintech space. And so this level of transparency and detail with people has helped them be more comfortable with this approach. And so that's pretty much the product demo that we can walk you through today. We would love to come back again in 6 months or a year from now, show you the ways that this has evolved. But I think that'll about cover it for now.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric.